Daar is hy. Goeiemôre mense. Ek wil so 'n bietjie met Petrus so aan die begin van die jaar, net so met ons mense saam met wie ons samewerkingsooreenkomste het, en ek wil net gou-gou vir Petrus in die hande kry. Lyk dit asof ek op die regte ene is, Daisy? Daar sê. Môre, Daisy, wil jy môre sê? So.
Hallo julle.
Daar sê. Die jaar is aan die gang. Hy hardloop al klaar by ons verby. Ek en Daisy het kaai gebrand in die son gister. Jo, partykeer is die son so dat jy kan maar smeer en jy kan maar gaan te kere gaan, maar sulke ligte velletjies soos ons in kry seer. Daar sê ek, ons gaan wag dat die ouens net op die groepe hardloop, terwyl ons dan gaan kyk of Petrus inskakel. Ek sien nog niks. Dat Petrus net by ons kan kom hallo sê, en 'n bietjie vir sommer net so 'n ligte gesprekkie hê. Wat het hy in gedagte vir die jaar en hoe gaan hy sy protesoptogte vir die boere hanteer? Sommer net so hallo sê aan die begin van die jaar vir die mense saam met wie ons werk en saam met wie ons projekte aanpak en so aan. Maar sy, intussen tyd betaal die pakkies lekker uit, julle behoort te sien. En ons kom mooi aan die gang, sommer so vroeg in die jaar, die kantoor is weer vanoggend aan die gang, en jy kan sommer sien, die ouens is lus vir die ding, lus vir 'n nuwe jaar wat voor lê. Ja, ek sien die P-pakkies loop nog bietjie stadig, maar die ander manne, die Z-pakkies is besig om in te koop. Daar's redelik hier so R1 miljoen uitbetaal vanoggend, of so 900, ja, amper R1 miljoen uitbetaal. So, die mense lyk vir my asof hulle na Kersfees dan nog 'n paar sent oor het. Goed. Right, dis die skakel daar, laat ek kyk. En dan kyk ons net of Petrus kan inkry.
Ek kan hom net weer bel.
Happy New Year daar aan jou en jou mense, jou vrou, jou kindertjies. Ek sien jy is daar in Oos-London, is dit reg? Lees ek reg?
Ja, my oom, ek is nog steeds hier so in Oos-London, my oom.
Wonderlik, so lekker daar by die see sien ek, nee. Fantasties.
Ja, my oom.
Ja, dis moeilik, my arm is, jy moet nou 'n bietjie verder vat, want dan is die klank partykeer 'n issue.
Dis dit.
Laat Daisy die foon vat, want my arms is te kort om my hele gesig te kan sien. Alright.
Okay,
Petrus, soos ons mense aanlyn kom, vertel ons so 'n bietjie van laas jaar. Vertel ons hoe was laas jaar en wat se challenges het jy gehad? Hoeveel keer was jy waar? Wat se opdraandes het jy, hoe het met jou gegaan? En dan vir die ouens wat jou nou nie ken nie, moet jy miskien net vir hulle sê, ek dink daar meeste mense ken jou. Jy kan maar Engels en Afrikaans deur mekaar praat. Ons het Engelse mense ook op ons groep. En te gee vir 'n idee van jou jaar 2023, hoe was dit gewees?
Ja, nee, baie dankie my oom. Ek sê dankie vir God dat ons is almal by die nuwe jaar. En ek sê dankie vir oom Louis, Liebenberg en Daisy, en ook die hele span, die ondersteuning van oom Louis. En die hele Suid-Afrikaanse, ek sê mense baie dankie. Ek lewe nog, ek is sterk vir hierdie jaar en hierdie jare is going to be a massive one. En ek wil aan die mense sê, hierdie Petrus wat julle het hom gesien al die jare, hierdie keer, hy's baie sterk, want ek het die man wat agter in die skerm, soos oom Louis, dis by my kant. Nou, oom Louis, kom ons gaan 2023. When we go back to 2023, it was a difficult year for me. But at the end of the year, I've seen what God made miracles to my life, to my family, and also to the farmers, whereby the farmers and farmer castle, they need me, I was there for them. I'm talking about maybe from June until December. It was a miracle to me because it changed. I net me deliver. I'm in gechange. En ek sê vir jou baie dankie vir jou om Louis. En ek wil sê die mense van Suid-Afrika. Mense, dis hoekom ek sê ek is niks nie. Ek is nie beter as jy nie. I'm not better than you. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a star. But let me tell you, I am a human being, which means I need you on my side. If I say that this year, because we are going to the election now, we must remove this corrupt government. I will never remove this government alone. If Louis Peters ons gaan begin the nieuwe partij, I'm going to be part of that movement to make sure that your life is going to be easy. Your leven, hij gaan makkelijk wees. Maar if we don't have support to the South African, we will never win this fight that we are fighting. Let me tell you something, Louis. Last year, I got baie die onderhoud gevoer van die ou mense by die plase wat hulle miskien verkrag, geslaan, en ek het nie die ding gedoen sonder jou, Louis. Jy, Louis, jy het seker gemaak, ek, Petrus, I went there every time when I call you, no matter at night, if you don't see my message, you come back to me. I remember the time when I went to Camille Drift. In Camille Drift, when those farmers need me, you are the one who said, Petrus, go there and I'm going to support you. Then we have heard that the 44 cows, they've been poisoned. Where to the beste, I mean, gegee, maar niemand heeft niks gedaan nie. Niemand heeft opgestaan om te zeggen, mensen, ik kan zeker maken dat I call Bekik, I call all the provincial and different department of police that that man must be arrested. Let me tell you, when I call Louis, ik heb klaar die werk gedaan. Ik heb klaar hier provincial politie gebeld, maar ik kort ondersteuning om zo'n toe te gaan. Je hebt zeker gemaakt dat Louis, ik ga zo'n toe. Maar ik vergeet, hierdie basic wat jij zeker gemaakt en die mensen bij de groep dat jullie zeker gemaakt dat Petrus, hij krijgt hierdie basic mensen, die basic. Ik is zo baie blij. Mijn hart is zo baie blij. Thank you very much to all of you to make things easy for me. And let me tell you, you are not doing only for me. You do only also for your future of your children. Because I'm doing this thing to protect for our future of our children here in South Africa. Now, Louis, toen ik was daar zo, in Vrijburg geweest, samen met de politie. And there's some of them...
In December or November, it's recently, hey?
Ja, dit is zo.
Ja.
En... Ja,
jy kan zeggen waarom in die combi nou, Petrus?
Ja. En Louis, then we were there, and I was so surprised. When I see some of the, I would call them to the vijanden. Hulle was ook daar zo geweest. Hulle verstaan niet. Why Petrus was there? They don't know who support me. Every time wherever I go, and they don't know before I do this thing, I call Louis. I can bel the police, I can bel Alman van hierdie mense. Ons kan zeker maak dat hulle gaan die man vang. But the some of the vijanden, hulle was ook daar so binnenkant. Ek praat saam met hierdie man Willem Peter wat altyd sê Louis is so. Mense, vandag ek wil net vir julle sê, jy het gesien die man has been arrested. Rasta Kinosi, die ene wat 44 cows has been poisoned. Let me tell you something. Louis and Petrus, they make sure that we have the meeting with the police, with the Provincial Commissioner of Northwest, and different department of the police. Let me tell you, and Louis, hij niet gezegd, nee, je hebt gezegd, to de social media, en je praat kakwoorden om de Louis. No, he said, Petrus, let those people be there, because I want to make sure that I protect the South Africans. I want to make sure that that man is going to be arrested. What we need Rasta must be arrested. That's all Louis heeft gezegd. Hij heeft niet gezegd, Petrus, die ben best hij moet gaan en zo. Nee, Petrus, eerste, kom eens, maak zeker dat de boer, hij is recht. Kom eens zeker maak dat die man arresteren. Ik zeg voor jou, baie dank Louis, ik waardeer het. And I remember the time when I called you, I said that, Louis, wel een beter is zo. Je hebt niet gezegd, Petrus, nee, je hebt gezegd, Petrus, let's concentrate to this cause that they arrested Rasta Kinosi, the guy who poisoned the 44 cows. En ik zeg voor jou, Louis, baie dank, want ik leer baie bij jou. Louis, ik moest eindelijk vandaag gereden. gaan daar zo bij Ganyesa. Waar morgen is een groot hofzak van die man. Baie mensen hebben me gezegd, weet je wat Louis, I want to say to the South Africans, you want to see me in Ganyesa, in Northwest, but you forget that this car that I'm driving, it needs diesel. This car and the Pietras, he needs the place to sleep. Pietras, he needs to Pietras, hij zoekt kost, want dat is een mens. Zoals jij. Je vergeet, want baie mensen zeggen Pietras, morgen is een rasta kenosi, zijn hofzak. Maar je vergeet, je moet Pietras helpen. Ik moet altijd zeggen, Louis, alsjeblieft help. Louis, alsjeblieft help. But you always attack Louis in social media. You always make sure that you bring Louis Liebenberg down. But this guy, this man that you see here, he makes sure that Pietras, you are going there. But mensen, weet je wat nee? Ik wil vandaag ons moet zeggen, dankie Louis. Dankie Daisy. Dankie die hele span. Say dankie. 2024, we must change the attitude. We must change the way we speak.
Baie belangrik. Petrus, let me address this quickly in English. The past few days, I want to go, maybe I should first say this. The very first thing that I need to say is we are very much aware that there's, let's call it the Broederbond and the very right-wing Afrikaans people or Boere that find it difficult that a black person like Pieter Situ is fighting the cause of the Boere. Now, there's a lot of, your support speaks for itself. So there's a lot of Boere that do support you. But then we've got organizations. And one of the things that I've come to understand, Beatrice, that I would like to share with you and our listeners, is that a lot of organizations of the Boere has been taken over by the administration of Afrikaners. And although we don't want to agree to this, there is a major difference between an Afrikaner and a Boer. And that is something that we need to get to grips with, to understand why it is so that people from AfriForum or even other organizations, they are administratively strong, but they are not necessarily passionate about the cause that you are on. If you are passionate about a cause to help the Boer, doesn't matter who they are, black, white, Indian or colored, if that is your mission, you are also going to run yourself into organizations like those that Willem Petse, TV Wessels, and so on support. But you will find yourself that as we get ourselves against the back, our back against the wall, that a lot of these organizations will realize that we will have to work together. And this is the one thing. So that is also the reason that I don't make an issue of Willem Petse getting there, has his camera ready, and start talking and take over as though he's organized the whole affair, while Petrus has done it, while Petrus has spoken to the police, while Petrus has spoken to the ministry, the Ministry of Police. So I think one of the things I would like to see this year is that we show that we are bigger than other people. We are not there for small political points to try and score. So that is why I react in that way. Because it's very easy to knock me because I'm the Ponzi scheme operator, I'm the boereverneker, I'm whatever people say. But then when the chips are down, then it's eventually what we have to see is that the need of the Boere. And how bad is it that when you see farmers killed, okay, or maimed or raped, and all these gruesome things that you have to do with on a daily basis, basically. I listened to some of your voice notes and I'm in awe of what you achieve. There's a murder and you are there. You get in your car, you get on the plane, and you see to it that you get there. And it's so true that you need all the support. But then you get to a situation where people take the glory for what you've done.
How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Weet je wat my oom, ek sê eerst vir myself dat God, you put me on this thing and I'm not a fake, I'm not a scam.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
those people who want to hijack this thing on me,
Yes.
I put everything in you, God. You will deal
Yes.
with them. I remember, Louis, 2020 in Brandon Honor. There's a
Yes.
lot of activists. Van hulle kom af by Kaapstad. There was die wetjene en ook die kleerlinge.
Yes.
The colored one. They went
Yes.
to Senegal. And let me tell you, Louis, I'll tell you now, most of them, they were there for money because they went to social media, to Facebook, and they said they put these things. And let me tell you, I was struggling. And those people now, when we speak, they've got millions, they've got a big cars, they've got
Yes.
a big house because of they still their South African money. But
Yeah.
Petrus, he's still here. He's still here, and where are they now? Gone. Poof. Let's move to.
Absolutely.
No, what I'm saying, that everything that I do, Louis, I put God first. Let me tell you, the day when we met, when you call me, I pray to
Yes.
God that, God, if
Yes.
this man is a fake, you will expose him.
Yes.
But you are still here with me
Yes.
today. And
We're not
and
going
you
to
make
go away. We're
and-
not going away.
and you make
Petrus.
baie
Yes.
dankie my oom. And you make things happen. Louis, as jy praat, die goed dit gebeur. Die goed dit gebeur. And I listen to you every time when you go to live. When I go to live, I want to listen to you because you give me power, you give me that
Yes.
strength. And
Yes.
sometimes I don't comment, but I want to hear you when you speak.
Yes.
And I said that thanks God to bring this gentleman, this guy here in South Africa to make sure
Yes.
that our people
Yeah.
are going to be healed. Our people are not going to suffer. En ek sê vir jou
Yes.
vandag my oom, baie dankie, ek waardeer dit. Jy het ook nie jy alleen nie my oom, ook saam met Daisy, because without Daisy we don't know what's going to happen with you now. Let me tell you why I'm saying that, because some of the people they want to hijack 80 million with you.
Yeah.
And Daisy, she was there to
Yes.
support you. And thank you,
Yes.
thank you, Daisy, for that.
And stop it. Petrus, let's talk about, okay, I just want to touch on something else. So the Brendan Horner, we had that monument that we erected at Barberspan. And then we had SJ and Johan that was part of that. We spent R1 million on that. And then suddenly it was sort of hijacked by something else. And that happens a lot. And what we will find is that it might be Marula Media coming on and they will take glory. My suggestion to you and the way that we approach it in the year is, let's forget that. One of the biblical principles is that the left hand shouldn't know what the right hand does. So if you do something for the Boer and you do not get recognition, let's accept that. Because God knows, and He knows your heart. And I think that is the approach I'm taking in my business at the moment, in our business, is that I say, I will do what my hand finds to do, and I don't mind about the glory. It's not important. And it's also led me to the point where I don't talk to the media and I don't address those issues anymore. They don't do on a daily basis. We do on a daily basis more than what other people do in a year. Yet we cannot complain when they don't put it up in lights. But okay, here's a second thing. You've had an interview lately, and obviously, Petrus, with your high profile, people are listening to you. So we had this lieutenant. Tell us about the background and the big hype that was created by the social media and the media about this. Because people need to see in perspective. It's not like you're going supporting and then halfway around you see that it's not, but you are investigating what other people do not want to investigate. And I need to also, I mean, you've been at Pala. you've been one of the front runners saying that our president is not acting correctly. Now somebody comes that is a citizen and he says, according to the Constitution, we as citizens have the right to call the president to order. And that is how that connection. Just tell us a bit about the background, and because people laugh at those things and they don't understand the rights that we have in the Constitution.
Exactly. Baie dankie my dat jy gee vir my die kans that I can tell also the people the background. Now, yes, Lieutenant Sylvester Mangolele, as he said that I say lieutenant, I met with him 2018 when I started this thing of activism. I remember it was on the 10th of September 2018. I met with that guy in Union Building. Yes, he was fully uniform. Now, when we chat with him, because he got a lot of papers, I said, why you bring these papers here? You are not, why you're supposed to be at work. He said to me, you know what, ne? I expose it. I expose the corruption inside the Navy of a South African National Defense Force. Now, the time when I expose them, they kicked me out in South African Defense Force. Yeah. Now, okay, right. And I remember when they took him at 8 o'clock at night at the police, 8 o'clock, because they know that no one they can see them. They took that guy. They go to Sunnyside police station and they strip him off the badges and everything. They kick him. They beat him and so on. Now, after that, I was still following sometimes that guy in social media, as we know that we are all over here in social media. But I remember, okay, before I went to Palapala Farm. I went to Palapala Farm. It was 2021, Omlowi, and the time I don't have anything, the car. We walked from East London to Palapala Farm. It took us 3 months, to be there in Palapala Farm. Let me tell you, I don't know about Palapala Farm. I don't know about the Limpopo province. But when God lead you, He will lead you. No matter it's going to be a war, no matter it's going to be a whatever, God will lead you. I remember the time when it was on Saturday. On midnight, I said to my guys, let's wake up and go to Palapala Farm, Ramaphosa's farm. Yeah. And we went there, Louis. I remember when the police refused us to go in. I said, no, we are here. God sent us here to pray. Let me tell you, when God sent us here, He sent us there to pray. God, He knows that when we pray outside Palapala Farm, He is going to use someone to expose Mr. President, because I don't know what was going there on that time. How God to do miracles in our life, and God doesn't choose any color, because we are one human being. Now, after we pray, we go back and we hear in 2022 that Arthur Fraser, he exposed the president of South Africa about the money laundering. And the time when I hear that, I say thanks God, because you send us in Palapala Farm to pray outside the president farm. But let me tell you, Louis, you have said something here that Peters, you do some of the things, and we don't see you in social media, we don't see you in the newspaper or whatever in the media. But let me tell you, I do this thing because God has sent me. I do this thing because I want my country to be a better country one of the day. You understand? When I do things, I don't go to social media and say, hey guys, I get hidden so I get so by a biester, I'm in Hassamel, I'm in for Hidiman, I get so yeah. Now, after that, I remember when I go to Bloemfontein High Court, Free State. I lay a charge against the president of South Africa. I remember the case number is the 3329/2022. This guy, Sylvester Mangolele, he saw me in social media and he said to me, my guy, Peters, I'm going to help you with the papers, with the law paper, because if you listen to him, he's very clever when coming to the section.
He understands the Constitution and the rule of law, yes.
Yes, and he helped me about everything about the papers. We got to court, and the court said that Pagamila will come back to you. When I come back here in East London, they send me SMS, the High Court. They say, no, the president is not interested about this thing. Now, I ask myself, and they say that the court dismissed it. We are not going to talk about this thing in court. I said to myself, when the court defend the president, which means now our farmers' life, the boere, and Khafar is on South Africa, but the High Court, they said that no, Peters, we are not going to talk about this thing anymore. Let's close chapter. Now, that's why Louis, every time when I woke up and I said to myself, you know what, I'm not going to let my country down. I will fight and fight and fight again. Now, when coming to this thing, I saw Sylvester Mangwelela's video on Monday, on the 1st of January 2024. He said that he's going to remove the president of South Africa in Cape Town. I called him. I said, Mangwelela, I'm going to interview you. Firstly, we are going to be on record. Now, when I interview him, and he told me about everything. Why, Peters, you interview Sylvester Mangwelela? Because I saw him in social media in the video. I want the South Africans, they must know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not going to support to maybe Sylvester Mangwelela to remove President Cyril Ramaphosa. No, what I know, 2024, this year, we are going to remove Cyril Ramaphosa to vote. Because the South African, the millions of South Africans, they're going to vote for the political party that I'm going to join. Say that enough is enough, because our people are fed up. You are not going to remove Cyril Ramaphosa maybe in court because everything has been captured. And I listened to him, and every time he called me, Peters, please, can you interview me? Because I want to tell the South Africans, yes, I interview him. I'm not associated with Sylvester Mangwelela. I'm just a reporter, because the News 24, they ran away. But I see now they have wrote an article about Sylvester Mangwelela. I said to myself, why they can't go to him and maybe call Sylvester Mangwelela and interview him? That's how the fake media, News 24, they operate. That's why I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going maybe to listen to someone, because I'm suffering. I'm here in South Africa. I'm not going maybe to fight for someone in Botswana, in Mozambique. I'm here in South Africa. I will fight for the South Africans. That's all. That's why I'm Louis. I get Diamond, the honor road because for me, I want to remove Cyril Ramaphosa, but I know that I'm going to remove Cyril Ramaphosa. The next national election 2024, we are going to remove Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I think what he's trying to articulate is the fact that we as citizens have got more power than what we think. And the important thing is, obviously, politics are important and the votes is important. A lot of people say to me, don't interfere with politics, focus on your business. But our business is being influenced. I mean, we've seen it over 3 years, how the NPA comes in, how the newspapers wrote 280 odd articles about us, Media 24, but when you invite them to the mind, when you invite them to see the facts, they are not interested to see the facts. So it's the power of the made-up mind. And I see the same with you. People criticizing you for being an activist, because that's what you are. But you've got influence over thousands of people. And the interesting thing about you, Beatrice, you do not see color. And that is an amazing thing about you. And also your background with the Boere has taught you that Boere are not bad people. You see, and that is a message that's very strong. I want to get back to the only thing, obviously, people will say about this commander, lieutenant commander, they will say, but he's got no position. What gives him the right to call Ramaphosa to order? And if you go through his arguments, his basic argument is that we as citizens have the right to call the president to order. Now, obviously, what you've also mentioned is that the judiciary is captured. Now, we've seen it with Zondo. We've seen it after the Zondo Commission, that nothing that was really discovered there, none of the big people at ESCOM, for example, is taken to task. It's very clear that they are protected game. And that is the struggle that we've got at the moment. So you've got a captured judiciary in the form of Zondo that was number 19 on the list, and he was made the judge president. And now you can see right throughout court that influence is going through. The fact that the parliaments couldn't act against President Ramaphosa already tells you that they've done enough damage that the parliament cannot hold the president to responsible. Now, I've had a discussion last night with a friend of mine regarding this issue. Now, what is important about God's kingdom is that there's three aspects that's important. First of all, there's the kingdom of God, and you can see it that the Jewish people are expecting the Messiah. Like I said, they're building the temple. They've already started preparing for that. But in the meantime, the Jewish people are being led by the Zionists. It is not purely Israel. I'm just throwing this in very quickly. So we are already confused between the Zionist agenda, whereby that is a world ruler type of thing, of one world order, and America sitting behind that. So we've got a very demakar, as it's called, political situation in the West. And then obviously the war in Ukraine and the war in Gaza, and how people are trampled upon, color and religion and those things, pitting people against one another. In South Africa, what we have is the right-wing Boere that wants to say, listen, we want our country back. We want to stabilize it. We want to go and sit on our own and live with our own people type of thing. And therefore the Oranje, Eureka and those things. And then you've got people that says, no, I've given up. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to be part of the system and by doing that, they are not holding the president accountable. And I think what this lieutenant commander is saying, every citizen, if the parliament has been bought, and we've seen it at Nasrec with the last conference, that a lot of money changed hands, because the one day I was there at conference, I was sitting outside conference with President Zuma's people and so on. And I already saw that the conference was going towards President Zuma and going against President Ramaphosa, and suddenly there was a change when money changed hands. Big money changed hands, and suddenly Mkhize was no more the candidate. There was a lot of things going on, and the Eastern Cape suddenly went over. Mpumalanga was suddenly now in support of President Ramaphosa again. There is a lot of corruption all the time. But this corruption was always there. It was also under the white government, under the FW de Klerk, but it wasn't as much as it is now. Now it is right. Exactly. So the people must hold the king responsible. This was the discussion I had last night with this friend of mine from a biblical perspective. If you go and look at the small prophets and the big prophets, the people must hold the king responsible, and the king must hold the people responsible. So that if the people are not following God and his rules and are not living according to the kingdom principles, the king, in other words, Ramaphosa, must say to the people, you must get your life together, you must get your act together, we must fight against crime, we must fight about these things. The king must call the populace, must call the populi, the people, the vox, to order. And the people have an obligation, and this is what this Lieutenant Commander Sylvester is saying. The people have got the right, if the parliament and the law does not protect the citizens against a king that is ruling against his people, that goes overseas, and there's more and more corruption with Eskom, and they are making deals with China and with Russia, and I forgot that one of these East Bloc countries. I mean, if you look at how they borrowed money for Eskom, 10 billion, 15 billion, 80 billion. So all these countries are now ruling our president. He's not ruling his people anymore. What he's doing is he's getting money, spending it on Eskom, and then tomorrow Eskom is not working, and he goes back and he asks for more. And in this process, he's pawning all our resources. He's pawning all our infrastructure. He is pawning SAA and the railways and PRASA and Eskom. So this president is bad for the people, and the people are not rising up. And I think what this lieutenant commander, as an individual, it doesn't matter whether he's still in the Navy, whether he is still in the force. He is a citizen that says this corruption cannot continue. We have to hold the king to order. And what I suggest, Petrus, is that people join those voices in civil society, join those voices. So my insight in is this: although people can laugh at the moment at his actions, and say you are not even part of the Navy, you've been fired in 2018 because you uncovered corruption in the Navy. The system will kill the people if the people do not stand up. We've seen it with COVID. If the people do not stand up, we will soon be locked down again. And it is time that the people stand up. Now, Petrus, you are one of those blessed people with a mission. That is why I support you. I'm not supporting you because you're a nice guy from Bultfontein. You worked at the co-ops. It's beautiful background. But that is a way that God prepared you for the work that you have to do. So our group will stand behind you. You will not go hungry. You will not run out of petrol. You will not say, I don't know where to stay tonight or tomorrow. God has put a vision in your heart, and we are behind you. I will make sure with everything in my power that God and his people will hold the government and the president responsible, and you have been called by God as a prophet of your day. You have been called and ordained as a prophet of your day. You are a voice in the desert saying to people, something is wrong with the system. Get it right before it is too late. That is your mission, my brother. And that is why God, not I have an instruction to support you. I cannot listen to people. I have an instruction from the Almighty God and his Holy Spirit to support you. That is why I'm behind you. So this lieutenant, we can't leave him out in the cold. We have to go to the man. I suggest, he said, I suggest we find out where he is, okay, because it's the third today, and maybe go and see him as soon as possible and say to the man, listen, you as a citizen had the guts to stand up. We as citizens agree with you, not necessarily with your method, but we as citizens, and then we get people behind us to rally so that they are held responsible.
Baie dankie. Jy praat die goed wat hulle was hier so binnekant and you have prophesied, my oom. You have prophesied the thing that I've got here. Before I spoke, jy het klaar gepraat, my oom. Jy het klaar gepraat en ek sê vir jou, my oom, baie dankie. South Africa, Louis Liebenberg, let me tell you, we can't lose this man. This man has been sent by God. And let me tell you, jy het klaar vandag gesê, my oom, enige tyd reis met my oom, ek vlieg staat toe.
Ja.
Ek het daai man se telefoonnommer.
Jy het hom,
Ons
ek
gaan
het-
reël.
Bel hom Petrus, sê vir hom, ons wil hom kom sien. Ons kry vir jou op 'n vlug Kaapstad toe, ek sal vir jou optel, ons gaan sien die man, ons gaan sit met hom. Because you know, if he's got the guts to go onto social media, I mean, this man stood up, lost his position in the army, but he stood up for what is right. And we must support people that are standing up for what is right and the right direction. So let's go and see him, and we see and we listen carefully to him, and we see, we judge in the spirit whether this man is from God. That is the important thing, because if people are not from God, it will perish. If I am not led by the Holy Spirit, if you, Petrus, are not led by the Holy Spirit to help the boere in this year to come, we might as well leave it, because then it's dead.
En weet je wat my oom, you know, sinds maandag ek het hierdie ding, daai recording gerelease my oom. Ek het 1000 my oom, van maandag af, gister, vandag my oom. Die mense hulle sê, Petrus, please, come to our place, can speak to us, we'll make sure that the stadium going to be full. Make sure that you organize that guy, you come guys here and speak to us. Let me tell you, my oom, van KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, where is this in South Africa? And the veterans of the army, let me tell you, they say, you know what, thanks to this guy, he spoke on behalf of the 60 million of South Africans. Now we are going to be behind you. Let me tell you, my own, ask God. If God said that Louis Liebenberg and Petrus, you are going to form a political party, let me tell you, on Parliament, we are going by numbers.
No, we'll be there. We'll be there.
We will be there. Definitely.
No, absolutely. Petrus, dit is so lekker om met jou te praat. Ek kan die hele dag met jou praat, want the Spirit of God is upon you. The Spirit of God in all His glory is upon you. En jy weet, daar's 'n ding wat sê, die seën van die Here maak ryk. En niks kan dit wegneem nie. Wanneer die Here jou seën, Petrus, as ek nou sien hoe jy al gesukkel het, met karre wat breek, en jy het nie geld nie, jy staan langs die pad en jy weet nie hoe om die volgende petrol in te kry nie, en jy weet nie waar om te bly nie. En hoe die Here jou al opgetel het, van die Unie-geboue af tot nou toe. Jy kan praat met gesag. You know what was interesting? Afriforum tried to stop you in Brits. By the end of the day, we had a whole crowd there listening to you, and listening to and we said that we want to talk to the police. And you know what's interesting, Petrus? We didn't go there with a spirit of confrontation. We went there with a spirit of reconciliation with the Spirit of God. And then you've got the ear of the minister. You've got the ear of I saw him now twice. I saw him first in a restaurant in Potchefstroom, in Pretoria, at Geet restaurant, where he went and he just ordered and he started talking to me. His wife started talking to me. But you can phone him. You are, maybe you can just tell people you are in the national task team for these farm murders and so on. Hey, that is you've got a position in that task team. How did that come about?
Okay. Baie dankie my oom. Weet wat baie dankie my oom. And let me tell you, I say also thanks to God. I remember 2021, we've got a National Rural Safety a summit. It was held in Paris. Now, day 1 and day 2. Day 1 I was there, and I was one of the speaker in Paris. And the second day, one of my team, he was sick. Now I was, and I told them, the guys, I'm going to take this guy to the doctor in Welkom in Free State. The time when I go is the time when they select a national rural safety task team. I was not there. When the Minister of Police he selected the national rural safety task team. But I got a call. I got a call before I reached to the doctor, and someone, the PA in the minister, they said to me, Pakamile, you have been selected in all different committee in the minister's office. The other one is a national rural safety tax team. Mense vandag ek belangrijk vir julle sê, I'm one in the Begikale's office, in the National Road Safety Tax team. Let me tell you something. It happened because of God. If it was not God and touched their hearts, guys, Peter's, he's not here, and we are not going to choose me. But God, he was there and to represent me, to represent the farmers, because I was there to represent you. 60 million of 60 million of South Africans.
People.
That's why I've been selected to be in that position. I remember before the 25, I've got the call. I've got the call from the minister, Becky Tlele. Me and my family, we went to one of the towns here in East London, and he said to me, Petrus, happy Christmas, and we will see you next year. I said, thank you very much, Minister. Let me tell you, for me, I said to myself, I'm down. I'm done. I get next thing. I get next thing, but the God touched the Minister of Police, Begitele, to call me and wishes me happy Christmas. Me and my family. I said, you know what? It is not because I'm someone, because of the people around me. The people around me, they've got that spirit of God. If Louis is not, he doesn't have that spirit of God, I think maybe Becky Teller, he will never call me, because the people around me, they've got the same thing that I've got. That's why he called me.
Absolutely. It's an important thing to remember that Jesus couldn't perform miracles in an area where there was not faith. And I find it very often, if I mix with people that are not children of God, that do not believe and that do not have faith, they actually put me down. And Jesus, and he was the example of all examples to follow. He went out amongst them. He went across the river. He went across the Sea of Galilee, etc., to get away from people, because there were certain towns that God, through his son Jesus, couldn't perform miracles. He couldn't perform miracles. He's looking for people like me and you. And Petrus, I need to tell you that it was God incidents that we met on the road at Cullinan. It was God incidents. Nothing happens without a reason. And I declare my commitment publicly. We are behind you. We do not care what people say about me. They just made a program, an hour program on Huisgenoot, levensdrama. I didn't want to partake in that. And I made a decision. I'm not going to partake in anything because it steals my time, my energy, my focus, and the media is part of the crowd that Jesus wanted to avoid in order to have time with his Father and build his faith so that he can perform miracles. We're going to take over all the mines in South Africa, and in order for me to do it, I cannot listen to what other people say and think about me. If they're not interested to come to the mines, if they're not interested to come to Petrus, and come and attend your meetings, and come and see the discussions that you have with high-profile people. I mean, I cannot call the people that you call. I can call the Zulu King, I can call President Zuma, I can call a minister or two. But you have access via Parliament to so many people. I mean, a man from Bultfontein in the Free State, and God lifts you up from where you work at the co-ops, and he makes you a voice of the nation. That is a miracle, my brother.
It's amazing.
Your
It is amazing.
And your focus and your energy should be on the miracles that you perform with farm workers and farmers being killed and maimed and raped. That is your work and that's your focus. I'm behind you. 2024 is going to be the biggest year of our lives. Petrus, we will have uphill. It's going to make us stronger, but we will overcome. We will overcome. And I'm so glad that you can drive in that combi. My brother, now we need a trailer. We need some, in this year, we must buy a second vehicle so that you can travel with your team so much further, so much more. Your banner must be at every rugby stadium. Your banner must be at Loftus and in Cape Town and in London and wherever. You must be at the soccer stadiums. You must be there where the people are, because we are serving the people. We are serving the people. That's the important thing. So we are behind you, Beatrice, and you know that you can just pick up the phone and say, Louis, I need to move, my brother. God is sending me, and you are a prophet for this country, my brother. You are prophet for this day. We are nearing very critical times in the year ahead. There's a whole new financial system they want to implement. Our people are suffering. White, black, yellow, pink. We are all suffering, and we are all suffering because of the corruption in government and by parliament and by a person called President Ramaphosa. We are all suffering because of lack of leadership. We are God's people. We are the leaders, so we can walk in front. So let's start. Let's go and see that Lieutenant Commander. Let's hear what he says, and we can assess through the discernment of the Holy Spirit. He will guide us, and who knows, we can get a wave of people understanding that we the people can be the voice of God in the King's ears. Very important. Come on, brother. Anything else you want to say to our group?
Thank you very much. And I said to him, Louis, that this is varied. We need you. Here in the group, the people in South Africa, they need you. Without you, let me tell you, Louis, we are nothing. Let me tell you, you pick me up. You pick me up, Louis, whereby the people, they remove me. You pick me up. Let me tell you, here in the group, mensen except for Jelle, ons nodig Louis Liebenberg. Without him, we are nothing. That is the waarheid. Mensen except for Jelle, hierdie jaar, julle gaan baie goed sien. Hierdie jaar, no matter Louis is going maybe to oversee to the court case or whatever, Louis, Peters, hy sal daar so vir jou. Ek sê te band, jy's daar so vir ons. Jy's daar so vir ons, die hele South Africa. Dit mag nie staat wat clear is dit nie. Now, I want to promise the South Africans, when Louis speak, God touch the people of South Africa's heart. That's why I'm saying that we are going to meet with this lieutenant and Viet. When Louis is going to interview that man, we are going to be live here on his the platform that you can ook hoor. What said I am Sylvester Mangolele. And let me tell you, they have tried to reach on him, but Louis Liebenberg is going to speak with Diamond live. You are going to see. Thank you very much. Bye, dankie, ek waardeer dit. Baie dankie.
Jy moet 'n wonderlike dag hê. So terloops, ons gaan nog hierdie maand met Julius Malema ook praat, ek en jy.
Ja.
Dit gaan 'n ander gesprek wees daai.
Ek kan nie wag vir dit. Baie dankie my ou.
Daar gaan 'n paar vonke spat. Dankie Petrus, liefde vir jou. Sien jy weer kindertjies en drukkie daar, hoor. Dankie my vriend. Dat liefde by daar sy mense, ek wou sommer net so vroeg, ek gaan met 'n paar mense so op hierdie basis kontak maak hier vroeg in die jaar, dat julle weet met wie ons saamwerk en so aan, en julle weet dit al baie van julle, en hoe belangrik is die werk wat ons nou doen. Ongelooflik belangrik die werk wat ons nou doen. Moet dit nie onderskat nie, moenie jou bydrae onderskat nie, moenie jou deelname onderskat nie. As hierdie 18.900 mense aktief raak, op die oomblik is daar 7.800 mense aktief. As julle nou aktief raak, absoluut, God se stem hoor oor die jaar wat voorlê. Ophou luister na stemme wat van buite af alles wil afbreek in plaas van bou. Ons kan 'n beweging in hierdie land aan die gang kry wat julle nie sal kan glo nie. Ons sal Media 24 se stemme stil maak, want hulle gaan naand nie meer weet wat om te sê nie. Daar is hy. Nou 'n wonderlike dag vir julle. Dit loop baie goed met ons besigheid. Buxel is klaar terug op die myn. Hulle moes eers die agter begin het, maar hulle het in hulle harte gevoel hulle wil vandag al begin voorberei en die tonne begin skuif. En hulle sal reeds besig om met die Paulus diamante deur te sit. Die diamantprys haver, jy sal sien, hy's op af, maar ek wag vir daai spike en kom ons bid, kom ons is op ons knieë en ons bid dat die Here 'n inspuiting in die diamantmark maak, dat daar 'n spike kom, dat ons al die pakkies kan uitbetaal wat mense so naastiglik op wag en dat ons verhoog kan word in plaas van verneder word, want op die regte tyd, wanneer jy jouself verneder, sal God jou verhoog. Dankie julle, 'n wonderlike dag vir almal van julle. Lekker dag. Tata eers. Daisy wil die baie sê. Daisy het ook so gebrank gister. Ek kry my arme vrou jammer.
Dus ek het nou net gou die spreiers gaan toemaak.
Ja.
Baie julle met 'n baie lekker dag hê. Ons
Ja.
is baie lief vir julle en ons is opgewonde oor die toekoms. Opgewonde.
Daar is hy. Dankie my meisiekind. 'n Lekker dag vir julle. Tata. Bye.